Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have our daily for trees. It is June 5th, as it states here, and we're just going to jump into this thing. We did a kind of a preliminary, not a preliminary, but an introductory video yesterday, and I think each video that we do from this point on is going to be less and less me explaining things and just kind of getting into things. So that's what we're going to do here. I was not able to set up any of this stuff right now, but we'll get to that maybe some other time. And let's just jump in it. So our daily packs are now... Oh, this is classics. So we're going to try to go through as many of the daily packs as we can in each of these videos. This one is always free to play. These ones always require coins, and the rest of these are you can either pay by coin or watch a video. So I've already preemptively watched or put the videos through so I can get that they're open so I can use them if I want to do it. Not saying that we're going to go through all of them, but I'm going to try to get through some. And particularly I want to get into this lawnmower one where it's the no grass one, so that you guys can see what it is, because we did not do that in the last video. So let's get started on these guys now. So, and these are usually the daily ones are usually fairly small, so we're never going to have anything crazy on those. When we get down to the other ones, they start to get a little bigger. So let's just hop in and get going. And if you'll remember all the little tips and tricks that I was doing last time, those still are here. Oh, that's not the right one. Didn't mean to double click that one. So quick and easy. Now these daily ones, of course, are going to go pretty quickly. So why is this? Okay, the audio. I think the audio is okay again. Let me know if it's a little bit too loud for you guys. Let's just go through all these guys. Again, let's do a little quick shot through them, and then we'll start to pick things apart. You have to be in, you have to be in. One of those two, all four of these must be in. So that's going to finalize this column. You have to be in, you're in, you're in. These two have to be to finish the three. You have to be because you're the only one left over, and then you. Good, good, good. And again, we're going to keep adding coins so that we can start unlocking other larger packs at some point. And I'll kind of intersperse some of the main packs into this instead of only doing dailies. But we'll kind of just see how that all works out again. So let's see, what do we have? These two must be in because of the 2 column. That finalizes these two. This one has to be in. You're out. Now you have to be in, and you have to be in because of this 2. And you are left with this guy, and you with him. If I can click properly, which means you're finalized. Now you have to be in. One of those 2 will be. Now I don't know which one of these tents goes to which one, but I do if I look here, because this one can't be a spot. So then this one is, and that finishes these 2. Perfect. And like before, I will cut out any ads that creep up in the middle of these things, so you won't even notice them. Cool. Let's keep going. Done, done. Nope, not you. I do like the using the mouse on these because I get a little bit more precision, but then again, I've got to stop myself from going too quickly. These 3 have to be in. One of you and one of you is in, so you are out. Again, I'm trying to find some things where there's little tricks of the trade that we can do to that I can kind of display as to how they go about being, and how we can further look at some of these things, but we might have to get into some of the larger puzzles for those to really come into play. So when they do, and I'm going to keep my eye out for them, hopefully we can get them done. You and you. There we go. And as you noticed, it'll show red if something you've done has messed up one of the rows or the columns. So let's just keep on burning through these guys nice and quick. Try to keep it semi-entertaining. And 1, 2, 3. So we know, okay, here's something we can say. This is a 4 column. Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces that could possibly be. But if we look at this grouping here, only 3 of these could ever be in because there's only 3 sets of trees. So therefore, this one has to be in. And where that takes us from there, not quite sure, but we're going to figure that out. What else do we have? This 3 can say this one and this one are in, which means these are out. And again, one of these 2 has to be, so these are out. This one is also out, so this is a 1 that finishes that guy up. This 3 here One of these two is going to have to be in, so we can't put one here. And again, we've got a 3 here that we can use. So these are all out, and these are both out because they would see both of these and wouldn't be leaving anything left over. Now that's 2 vertically. It says these are these. Now we can start hitting some of these other ones. And this one has to be in because all it's left over. You have to be in because all it's left over. Same with you. You. Gets rid of those. This is the last one on a 3. And then this one. Nope, not that one. This one. Yeah, sometimes you look too quickly. I'm going to say never on this one. And let's keep going. Again, we'll get into some a little bit more complex ones here in just a second, but we're going to try to get through our dailies. So 1, 2, 3, and one of those 2. None of these are in. This one has to be in to finish the 1, which means this one's in. 1, 2, 3. One of these 2 has to be in, so that's out. This is in a corner, so that's out. Another we can't quite do it. Sometimes when you have a 1, what you can do is you can look across, and it doesn't matter if it's row or column. But let's say this guy wasn't in, and I'm going to come back and put that in. But if this one wasn't an option, we would know that one of these 2 has to be in to protect, to get this tree. So therefore, the rest of them would be out. But again, that's not the case in this one, but that's an example of something to look for. What else? And not seeing anything right away. Okay, here, this 3. This one can't be in because it would see both of those. And, well, okay, this 2 column is a good one as well. 2 of these 4 are going to have to be in because that's what the column says. Now, if we were to put a tent here, that would wipe out 3 of them. So therefore, this can't be in. This one here can't be in because it would remove both of these from the 3. That now sets these guys in place, and then we can start pulling out. One of these 2 has to be in to get this guy for this 3 column. So then this one has to be the remainder. That will set those. This guy can't be in now. This one can't be in because it would remove both of these. Now, we can use that little trick that I said about the 1s. Only one of these 2 can possibly be in. You can't put both of them. And there's another one here, so one of these 2 will be in. Now, we can't necessarily put anything in there, but that's just one of those little things to look at. Now, what else can we say? One of these 2 has to be in, so that's out, which means this one is in for the 3, and then one of these 2 is in. This one says this is in. These 2 now have to be in to finish the 3. This one has to be in to finish the 1. These 2 are in to finish the 2. And then both of these are in. Good to go. All right, so that is the daily, the obvious daily of the pack. I really wish I could reduce the size of the screen a little bit so that it's a little bit more compact, just on this screen particularly. But we're going to want to have it be fairly large, because once we start getting into these, not necessarily the 11 by 11s, but there's some really large puzzles in here. 15 by 15s are decent. 16 by 16. Let's see if we can find one that's 18 by 18 is a good size. The lawnmower ones, anything like at the 7 by 7 is somewhat large. So there's nothing massive on this grouping. But let's go into, let's find one of them that had the 18 by 18, which was this one, right? Okay, good. We'll do this one so you get a good idea of what the sizes are now on the actual screen. We'll start with the 14. Well, let's just do the 18 first, and then it'll automatically push us back to the 14 when we click next. And then we'll go in and do this lawnmower one so you guys can see what that is about. So let's start with the 18. Yep, we already did the zoom thing. We know that. So you can see, again, this is the harder difficulty without all of the clues. So I was stating in the last video that these ones I find a little bit easier because it focuses you into specific clues instead of just having every single clue possible, and then you have to figure out which one of those clues you can actually use. So now you can see, of course, that this is an 18 by 18. It doesn't look so big on the screen anymore, does it? So, and we are enjoying having the extra size here to be able to see what we're doing and to be able to click appropriately without having to worry about misclicking as much. But we still have to keep an eye out and make sure we're not misclicking because that causes problems. And I think we've got most of the ones now that are just given outs. Now, I'll find some here and there when we go through them as well, like this one here. But let's try to find one of the larger clues. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all of these have to be in, which we can then remove all of these because they're touching those. Now, we don't really know what's going on here because these 2 tents, well, I guess we do. This guy here has to be attached to this tent because there's no other place for it to go. This guy here has to be attached to this tent. So these 2 have to be in to get these other corner guys. Then that starts to propagate itself out. Now this guy here has to be in because that guy doesn't have a tent. Okay, let me see if I can, so we said all of these had to be in. So one of these 2, which means these can't be. One of these 2, which means these can't be. And this guy can't be because it's touching that. Now, next will be to maybe look at some of the other large clues like the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have 8 possible places where we could put trees. 1 here, 1 of these 2, etc., etc. So we can't ever put one where we would remove 2 options because then we wouldn't have enough options. So we can get rid of all of these guys that are looking directly onto 2 of them. And then you kind of hope that what you've done in removing some of those gives you a spot where you can definitely put something together, but not always the case. Anything on this one that I talked about previously about where if we know there's one of those 2 would have to be, then everything else is gone. Doesn't look like it. The 5 doesn't look like it's giving us too much. Let's look at this 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's too much. Let's try this 6. 8, nope. This 5 has to include every one of these sets. So we can start to do that. This corner here says that's out. Let's go back to the process here. These can't be in because they would remove both of those 5s. This has to be in because it's part of that 5. And then these 2 can't be in because it would remove both of them. Now this guy here is left alone, so he has to be in. You have to be in. And that's going to start going around and around for us. And we can get through all those. Good. Now, the next thing I tend to look at is areas where we've put in tents. Because then it starts to reduce some of these other options of what could be what. Now, I don't necessarily see that there. This one is slightly reduced now because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these 2 can't ever be in. Now this guy has to be in and you have to be in. And we can't actually remove these 2 because we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when we have a singular with a double like this, we can't do the same type of thing. Okay, where else do we have something now that's open? And you guys are probably going to spot some of these things quicker than I can as well. So you'll probably see something that's like an obvious thing out in the middle of somewhere. And I just got to figure out where that is. Because sometimes you just really have to look down each row where you have a clue and see if you can pick the thing out. And then sometimes it's just one of these trees only has one option, but you have to kind of go through them all and see what those are. This 3 is useful because we have one here, we could have another one here, and one of these 2, so we can't have either one of these. So now, well, we don't know that one of these has to be in. Well, I guess we do know what one of them has to be in, but we don't know if it's both of them or just one of them. Because this guy could have this guy here, and then he could be one of those 2, or this guy could have this here and this one here. Now, that did reduce this, because now we have 4 left, so we've got 5 and 6. And that will tell us the orientation of these guys, and of course, misclicking can happen from time to time. Now, you have to be here, you have to be here, you can't be this one because of that corner rule. Now, what about the 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, the 7 is now situated for the most part. Now, here's another little thing where we have this, it looks like we've got 3 of these guys in kind of like a triangular pattern. And we've got 2 already noted, but we don't know which one of these go to which one. We know this guy, I'm going to come back to this one in a second, but this will help us. We could just do this and figure it out, but I'm going to try to point out some of the little little things that I notice when I do these puzzles. one of these two tents will serve this tree. The other one, whichever one serves the other one. So we know one of these two has to be in. Therefore, this one will never be in. Then we can just go do the easy part and say those are all out. So this one is in. Now, this one's in. This one's in. This one is in. This one. And we had this guy here. We could also remove that. Now we have another corner, so that's out. What did we do over here? 6s and 7s are done. That 1 was done, so we can probably maybe look. Yep, here we go. We look down that line. We can now say this one's in, this one's in, this one's in. And now this 2 is done, so we can get rid of all of those. Now he's alone. You're in there. You have to be in, you have to be in, you have to be in, you have to be in. What more? Tell me more. Tell me more. Which one of you guys are left over now? Maybe this 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, just one of those 2, 2, 3. Still don't have that one resolved. This 3 is looking good because we can put both of these in. That's something. We know one of these 2 is, but we don't know which one it finalizes. This 5 is done, so those are good. Now we can put this guy here and here and here. And you're out, so you're in. You have to be in. What about one of these 3s? Well, we know only one of these can be in, but that's not completely helpful because this one could be in and this one. But we have one up here, so we can't quite make that determination of which one's which, but this 6 here will tell us that that one is part of it. We still have the option of either one of these, though. But this 3 now is open up with what we did there, because we have 1, we need another 1 here and 1 here. So that does finalize that, and then we can finish this 3, which finishes this 3. And this row. Go away. Didn't mean to click you. Cool. So this 6 now has to be finalized. Can this 4 now help us? 1, 2, 5, yes, so these are both out, which means you are in, you are in, you are in, you are in. This 4 is out, in. That's done. You and you. There we go. So that was one of the bigger ones, and we are, we'll move on to, we'll do the 14 by 14. And then after that, we'll switch to the no lawn or the no cutting grass ones. And then I think that'll be a good stopping point for today. Because again, don't want to make these really long videos. Just want to be something kind of fun and quick to go through as a daily type of thing. So we'll go through the same processes that we did for the 18 by 18 with this 14 by 14. Get rid of all of our obvious not possibles. Hopefully not misclick. Those guys, that looks like it's about it. So now let's start looking at our numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are out. These are out for the 4. At the same time, we're kind of scanning to see if any of these are just have a given. This 5, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's out. And that's the only one we can do there. What about this 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that and that are out. That now leaves this guy open, and that's going to be a good thing to work with. Because that has to be there, so this has to be here. Which means these two have to push out here. You have to go here. You are there. And that gave us a little bit of work. Now this, well, this 2 is a good one, and this 3, because 1, 2, 3, 4, so these 2 are both out. Good. Now what did that 2 do for us? In correspondence with 3, no, not really, because we have 5 left over here. No, we can do a little bit more here, I guess, because we have 1 possible here. Only one of these 2 can be in, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5. So the ones that are singles must be put in. That removes that one, which creates another single. And again, one of these 2 and this. We can't necessarily say which one of these is just yet. Did that open anything up for us in another place like this 4? It did. All of those are now in. And, well, we had a similar situation like we said before where we've got these 2 guys can look at this one. So one of these will definitely be in, but because there's this guy here and we don't have another row over here, we can't necessarily say anything about these. because this one here could be taking this tent, and this one here could be taking this tent, and then both of these would be in. Or this guy could be over here somewhere. This 5 now has opened up a bit more, so we'll do him. One of these two has to be in, so you're out. If that's the case, you are in. So you, and you. Good. This 1 is done, so we can click off that. That's in, that's in, that's in. And you have to be in. So now this 1 has to go here and here. And those are done. This 3 has 1 left. We don't know which one it is yet. This 2 has one of these 2. We don't know which one it is yet. The 5, we still have the same things going on here. This 3, though, did get pruned down by 1, so now we can remove these 2 because it can't have it take out multiple things. This guy here is left alone. So now we know we are down to just this last guy. Can we find anything else that's going to cause problems? Let's see. Because sometimes you can look at like a grouping like this, and not in this case, but if you can hypothesize if something went here, and if this guy wasn't available, let's say, and we said, well, can we put a tent here? The answer would be no, because it would have to be for both of these trees. That doesn't occur in this situation, but it's a little point to bring up. What else do we have? There's just one little thing okay. No, that's not right. I thought I saw something there, but I did not. Booba-dooba-doo. One of those 2, one of those. Possibly 2 of them. That's that, yeah. Okay. So we're at the point where I've got to scrounge for something here now. Where are you? Oh, this one right here. I didn't even see this one. That was all I needed. This tent was touching the square. I just didn't see it. So these 2 are both in. Now that should sort all of this out. That goes in. That goes in. That removes all of these. This one here has to be in, which means this one has to be in, which means this one has to be in. That removes the 3. Now this is in, so the 2 will be done. This guy here needs to go here. And then that will finalize things for us. Cool. Oh, I didn't finish over here. Yes, these 2 both have to be in. Cool. Okay. And I think to get rid of ads, you have to do like a monthly subscription or something like that. But I'll check into that a little bit more. It's not a big deal. I can remove them pretty quickly. You don't have to worry about them. But anyway. All right. So let's go into this guy. Now, this will be the one thing that I had not shown previously. So let's give it a look-see. This level is hard. You cannot place grass. So we cannot select any of these things to make them grass. The only thing we can do is click on one of the squares and it will and that will place a tent. So we have to think about all these guys in such a way where we know where something might go. So if we look at this 0 here, that means that none of these can be a tent. Well, what can be a tent for this guy then? Because this one can't be, so this one has to be. Now, we know one of these 2 has to be a tent to satisfy that one, but that's not massively useful. We know one of these 2 is going to be this guy, but we don't know which one it is necessarily. Let's look at the 3. Yeah, the 3 will do it. One of these 2 is going to have to be in, and then these 2, because there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections, and this one can't be part of it. So it's actually one of these 2 and those 2. So these are both in. Now, if that's in, that removed our 1, so this one can no longer be in. These can't be, and none of these can be in, so this one is. And then this is where we can start to do this, and this is helpful in sometimes, especially on these types of puzzles, because you can connect them to which one you want. And when I clicked on it, it automatically did it, but that'll only occur when it's a guarantee that that one has to be to that specific tent. If it's not, you have to click it and drag. So anyway, these 2 can't be in, so this one has to go here. That finalizes this. This 1 now can't use any of these because they're all touching tents, so this is in. This 2 needs one more. It goes here. This 1 now is out, so this one has to be that one we talked about previously. This has to go down here. Wait, I screwed up. Let me go back a second. This one can't be in. Oh, I didn't take into account this one. Sorry. I was thinking about this 2. No, that's right. Yeah, the only place it can go is here. I must have just made a silly mistake over here. Oh, right. This guy could be in to satisfy you. That's where I made the mistake. So let's think about it further. Yeah, where? Well, use your words. This one has to either take on one of these 2, which will, either one will finalize this grouping. So therefore, the only place that this 2 can be used would be, well, that's not nearly true actually, is it? Because this one could be in and then this one could be in. But then if that happens, this is done, and then that can't work. On the other hand, if this is in, that means this is done. So this one has to be in, which would be both of them. And that's the other way, that's the better way to look at it, the 2. We have to put 2 of them here, so these both have to be in, and therefore that one's in. So that's kind of where, I guess we can do the last one. We've tried the last one. Usually when these ones I find the most hard because I can't, it's not as easy for me mentally to do them, but we'll give this one a try and see if we can do it. I try to like to keep the no grass ones to 7x7s or less just because my brain can handle them. But let's see if we can figure something out. So none of these can be in. Maybe the 4 is the better way to look at it. Yeah, only 2 of these 4 can be in for this 4 row. This is either going to be like something like that, these 2, or these 2. So therefore, both of these have to be in. Now, if that's the case, we have, well, let's go see if this 3 would work. So we can make this one in. Both of these could be in, or this one could be in. We don't know which one of these tents goes to which tree at the moment, though. Well, this one can never, okay, this on the 4, go back to this one. This one can never be in because it's not on anything, so this one has to be in. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it feeds this one. We still don't know exactly which one of these tents necessarily is working with which one, because we could put one here. But we can also think about this one here. Because of these tents, this one, this one, this one, and this one can't be in. So one of these 2 is in. If that's the case, this one can't be in. And we know both of these can't be in. So for this one to have a place to put a tent, we can't put it here because that would make this guy not have any possible locations because we can't put 2. So it has to go up here. Now, that removes all of these. Does that help us in any way? Oh yeah, it does, because now that tent here removes this as a possibility, which means this one has to be the 4th. That then removes this as a possibility, which means this one finishes you. Now this one up here, it can't be here because of the 0 clue. It can't be these because of we already have tents. This tent, now this won't let me do it because it doesn't automatically think that one of these is what, so I have to drag it over. I do know that that one connects to that one, and I do know this one connects to this one. Now that one does connect here as well. So what we're saying is that this can't be in, this can't be in, this can't be in, this can't be in. This one can't be in because of the 0, this one can't be in. So one of these 2 is in, which means this isn't. Now, looking from the 3 perspective in the column, one of these 2 had to be in, this one can't be in, this one is. That now removes these 2, and we said one of these 2 had to be in, so this one is. That will connect to you, that will connect to you. You now do what? And that's a good question. Well, maybe it's better to look at this 3. Yeah. Okay, this is the way to, this 3 is the better one to look at. This guy here could be in because of this guy. This guy could, or one of these 2 could be in, and this guy could be in. Well, I guess 2 of these could be in. So it's 1, 2, 3 are options, which means this one can't be in because it would remove both of these. which means this one can't be in because it would mess with this guy. Which means one of these two is, and I guess we already know that two of these are already, but that's not really getting us to the point where we need to be, is it? Well, yes, it does actually. If we think about these two, because of the 3 clue, we know these two tents are going to be satisfied by these, the 2 remaining, however it may be. Now, what does that leave for this one? It could be here, or it could be here. I don't know that we can determine that one either. Kind of going on like a wild goose chase at the moment, if you hadn't noticed. And our time's gotten a little long here. Wasn't expecting this one to go a half hour, but I guess because I'm still doing some introduction stuff, it's going to be a little bit longer. And I won't do as many as each video, I guess. Okay, we got to figure this out now. What about this 3? These are all done, so they can't be used. One of these and then 2 of these. So this one is in, and both of these are in. Now that one has to be connected to you. Come on, connect. You have to connect here. You have to connect here. You have to connect to him. And it's kind of the opposite way. The tent has to connect to him. You have to connect to you, and you have to connect to you. Now, let's think again about this 3. Because we had this guy being a possibility. It can't be a possibility anymore because this guy's taken. So it's you, you, and you. So all 3 of you are in. This is now completely done. The 2, the 1 is completely done. So where does this guy get his tent? It's there. This guy here, the 2 is done here. And this guy can't be in, so you're in. Now we need 1 more of the 3. You are connected here, you are connected here, you are connected here. So the only thing left to put is here, and you're connected to that. Now we know that these 2 are in. There we go. We got there in the end. Cool. So there we go. So that was the dailies with the no grass version. So I'm going to stop there because I think that's long enough for this video. Again, I don't want these to be long videos, but again, just trying to show that one gets us where it is. So anyway, that's the dailies for today, plus a little bit of extra bonus there, obviously, to show some of the stuff. So that's where we're going to leave it. Hope y'all enjoyed that, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot.